E allora, ragazzi, bambini,
Tesoro?
are you okay?
Yeah,
Hi.
we're
Allo,
great.
allo, 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 allo.
Hi guys.
Sebi,
Oh.
hello. So, episode number
8.
8, number 8. Wow, almost in the middle of the road.
Hmm.
Yeah, great. And do you also agree with me that AK is boring?
No,
No, it's not
No.
boring. No.
no.
A little
Come
bit?
on. A little
Never.
bit. A little bit.
No, never.
A little bit boring, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A little
Well,
bit boring.
it's a bit boring. I'll tell you why. Because it's a chronic disease. And you cannot convince the patients that once you have had a case, it's like you
Yeah,
need to come back and come back. And again,
yeah,
a new AK and came back on the point that you treated. Yes, because you have received so much sun damage.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. But by the way, Emilio, don't you think we need to say hello to all our folks connected with us today?
Including those from Australia. Well, maybe
Yes.
from Australia we just have Tilak. I don't know if we have anybody else, but who knows? In any case, good morning to Australia and hello to Brazil, to Spain, Netherlands, Armenia, Turkey, Sicily,
Uh-huh.
UK,
Solo.
Parma, London, Kosovo, Ukraine, Canada, Uzbekistan, Sweden, Estonia, Hungary, Russia, Turkey, New Zealand. Good morning, also there. Romania, our beloved Reggio Emilia.
Yes.
We have to go one day there, I have to tell you. Serbia, Mexico City, Argentina, of course, Albania, Chicago, Wales, Poland, USA, Greece, and Poland, and that's it, I guess. Yeah,
Great. Wow.
Catalonia also,
Brazil,
Milano
Egypt,
Cortina.
Georgia,
Georgia.
Milano.
Egypt.
We have also Milano Cortina. The Olympic Games just started, you know?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, yes.
And Switzerland
Winter
won the first
Games.
gold medal, right?
Well, until yesterday, we were first in the ranking, but just for the first day. Yeah, I'm not sure we are still the first Italians.
Do you know that we have a Greek, athlete, the one that who was carrying the flag at the
Uh-huh.
opening, who
Yeah.
is Konstantinos. She is a medical student in the medical school.
Oh,
Oh, really?
No, she
Wow.
she
really?
she will be my master student.
Ah, really?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
she applied.
man.
She applied. She applied in her masters in the oncology masters, and she was accepted.
So probably also
Super.
dermatologist. Eh?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
going to be a dermatologist.
The- what is her sport? Is discipline?
No, no, it's
Ski?
alpine ski. Alpine ski.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the upwards.
Okay. Okay. So, but what about the question of the week? Sebastiano, eccola. How often do you treat a case? Every day, basically every day. Yes, every day, every day. We agree, we all agree, and that's why it's a little bit boring. But
But AK, I don't know. I don't know what Konstantinos has prepared. I have no idea because he's the man of the day. But you know that AK was one of the these very favorite topics that we love. That become a source of intense fights among people that
Wait, wait.
between people with opposite, let's say, points of view.
you
So
mean, is
And,
it a
and
carcinoma in
yes.
situ?
yes,
Is it
guys,
a
just
precancerous
just one
lesion?
second. Just one second. Sebi, please prepare another question asking: is AK benign, malignant, or intermediate?
Intermediate.
Let's see what
Intermediate.
people think.
Okay.
So there was, you know, in the era of Ackermann, you know, and when he was launching his revolutionary theories, many. Among them, one of them was that AK is a cancer. So he was, you know, clear
Carcinoma in situ.
like that, that this is a squamous cell carcinoma in situ, punto. There's no it doesn't make sense to discuss about precancerous lesions and so on.
Yeah.
And there was a series of papers, letters responding the one to the other, fighting, you know, about this.
Yeah.
And as we all know, Ackerman was a very, talkative
Provocative.
person. Talkative. He would take the opposite opinion very easily.
Well, but let me tell you, today, no, just go ahead for a moment. I have to search for something very interesting in the line of very important discussions. Let
Sebi, put
me
the question.
put the question in the meanwhile.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, we don't have a guest today, so maybe we can ask our personal questions to Konstantinos.
Yes, of course, of
Absolutely.
course. Constantino, how much do you love me?
This much. This much.
Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. But let me show you something which I found today extremely interesting, but I don't find it.
Wow. Look at the poll. Look at the poll. I mean, it's
I need to read
clear.
it.
There is a clear opinion, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Clear opinion, yeah.
Clear opinion, and the second voted answer is benign. So, so Ackermann's you know, theory is the less popular among.
Definitely not not a good one. Yeah. Okay, I found it. Let me show you this. Just a moment. In the lines of very useful discussions, can you imagine? This just appeared in the GADV, authored by Giampiero Girolomoni, a very good friend of mine, where he's writing to the editor. We are grateful to Nicholas Kruger for his stimulating criticism to our article on the girl with a pearl earring by Johannes Vermeer. In this report, we hypothesized that the girl, so the painting, was affected by alopecia areata and madarosis based on the absence of visible eyebrows and eyelashes. Kluger put forward several elements indicating that this was an overzealous diagnosis. First, eye magnification examination revealed that some eyelashes were indeed painted, but it is common observation that patients with alopecia areata, even those with alopecia totalis or universalis, may have some residual eyelashes. So they are discussing about the painting, and if this painting is representing a lady with alopecia areata, yes or no?
No, but this is amazing. I didn't see this article. Come on, we should discuss more about art. We should discuss more about art and dermatology.
Yeah, but there is a long discussion here. Yeah, look.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
This
it.
is just published 4 days ago.
There was an initial paper by Giampiero Girolomoni who stated that she suffered from alopecia areata. Then there was another one saying, no, come on, this is too much. It's overdiagnosis. And then he's replying to him and so on. And the discussion is ongoing.
I love it.
I love it too. I love it too.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Costantino.
Vai.
Costantino, the floor is yours.
Wonderful. So my presentation is a bit long, so I will stop at some point.
Okay.
But let's start with this.
Okay.
It's not long. 152 slides. Come on. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. Come on. Come on. We have time.
Plenty of time.
This is at midnight. I have to go to sleep because I have to wake up very early tomorrow. Huh?
Look at Sebi. It's like, we need to put the videos on as well. We need
But
to
I
put
wanted,
the
do you really have to say so many things about AK? Wow.
AK and SEC. So many.
Okay,
Yeah,
and SCC, yes, but AK only, yeah, let's see.
Oh, it's AK and SCC.
Okay.
good.
So this is one of my favorite slides. I have prepared it a long time ago, and I use it in many presentations. What is dermatology?
Yeah, of course.
Many people do believe that this is dermatology, but
Mhm.
we do know that a dermatologist is a specialist who is able to diagnose and treat over 3,000 conditions.
Not me, not me.
I only do five cancers.
But Konstantinos, do you know why you show this slide? Just to make yourself feel better for your wrong choices in life. I mean,
Guys,
instead of being a happy guy now injecting, Botox and fillers,
Yes,
you have to deal with this.
instead of being an
all these things.
injector, I
Yeah,
can't sleep at night on how my melanoma patients are doing. That's very
yeah,
true. But
yeah.
on the other hand side, having old ladies telling me that their Botox faded out at 3 months instead of 5 months is a nightmare that I cannot tolerate. I prefer melanoma, metastatic melanoma patients. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
skin conditions is the most common reason to seek medical help, as we see by this really nice paper that showed that skin conditions are the most common reason that people visit their GPs. 24% of the population see their GPs for skin disease, and a big proportion of these visits regards skin cancer or at least isolated skin lesions. How frequent is melanoma? We know that melanoma represents is the fifth most common cancer in the US and represents 5.1% of all new cancers. But how frequent is non-melanoma skin cancers? Non-melanoma skin cancer is the most common cancer in the world, so common that most cancer registries do not record it. As a result, our data regarding prevalence are limited, and it is calculated that in the US alone, non-melanoma skin cancer exceeds 5.4 million cases annually. As a comparison metric, this will be all the cancers diagnosed this year in the US. So, all the cancers combined prostate, breast, colon, all the cancers that we can imagine 2 million. Non melanoma skin cancers, at least 5.4 million.
But does this include the AK or not?
No, no,
Only
no.
BCC and SCC.
BCNSC. No, AKs, we'll see the statistics very soon. And speaking of SCC, SCC versus all other cancers, it exceeds all other cancers alone. And with a projection to the future, as the population grows older, it's expected that non-melanoma skin cancers in Europe will be increased by 2040 by 40%. Non-melanoma skin cancers and their affecting patients. Often non-melanoma skin cancers are referred as epitheliomas, highlighting the benign nature of the lesions. However, how benign is a tumor that can turn into this? This is a patient with a squamous cell carcinoma, several AKs. Also, probably, this started from an AK, although we can never know. And it's a pity because squamous cell carcinoma has commonly a distinct growth pattern, although, as we will see moving forward, this is not always the case. Starting from actinic keratosis, grade 1 or 2, grade 3, then squamous cell carcinoma in situ, and this is a low differentiation squamous cell carcinoma, as we can notice. And it's a pity because it's entirely preventable. As we all know, it's the mutation of TP53 caused by direct sun damage, and several studies have shown that the constant application of high SPF sunscreen can prevent the development of actinic keratosis and non-melanoma skin cancers. It's interesting that most Americans, well, we're talking about the US because those are the studies. Most Americans were unaware of cutaneous squamous cell carcinoma. So only 28% of Americans knew that SCC is a life-threatening disease, whereas only 11% did not know of melanoma. What is the progression model? Although it's not linear, as we will see moving forward, we can move from subclinical actinic keratosis caused by the mutation in P53, as we discussed, induced by UV light, then into actinic keratosis, and progressively into squamous cell carcinoma. And this is a very interesting graph showing that this is a log2 gene expression starting from non-sun exposed skin to sun exposed skin into a case, and then we see what's the log expression of genes, especially oncogenic genes, into squamous cell carcinoma. The progression model, as it has been discussed in the literature extensively, moves from actinic keratosis to squamous cell carcinoma in situ and then to invasive SCC. The problem is that this is not linear. Squamous cell carcinoma can develop even only on sun-damaged skin without a precursor actinic keratosis. Of course, this is extremely difficult to record historically because a patient may come only when he has the advanced squamous cell carcinoma and we can never record the previous actinic keratosis. But we saw how common is squamous cell carcinoma. How common are AKs? Actinic keratosis is widespread, really widespread. 58 million Americans have one or more actinic keratosis, and it is calculated that each year 40 million Americans will develop at least one new actinic keratosis, making it the most common precancerous lesion. At this point, I think that we should highlight that there is very few. So, cancer is a fascinating subject. There are so many factors contributing to cancer development, carcinogenesis. It can be genetic, it can be epigenetic, it can be environmental. However, how many cancers do you know that have a direct etiologic environmental effect? It's smoking for non-small cell lung cancer.
No, it's mainly cervical cancer and
And then it's HPV infection and cervical cancer. The only other, and definitely the most common, is actinic keratosis. But the interesting thing, we saw the incidence of AKs, 58 million, and this is the incidence of squamous cell carcinoma. So what is the risk of an AK progressing into an squamous cell carcinoma? A systemic review found that the estimated risk of a single AK lesion becoming malignant ranged between 0.075% and 0.096% per year, or approximately 1% over 10 years, with some estimates as high as 10% over 10 years. In another review, the risk of progression of AK to invasive SC varied between 0.025 and 16% per year. When you have this large of a gap from 0.25 to 16%, what does this mean? That we have no clue. Why do we have no clue? Because very commonly, people do not present to the doctor with a pre-existing AK. They only present with the SC. And also, being so common, there are so many subclinical lesions and so many people that go undiagnosed. One thing is for certain, that people that have had AKs are at a higher risk of developing a squamous cell carcinoma. And here we can see that patients that had a history of AK were at a much higher risk of developing a squamous cell carcinoma compared to the controls that did not have it. Looking at this patient, how often do we see these patients coming in? Bald, male, 70-year-old, with extensive sun damage. In this patient, we will find, of course, an actinic keratosis, seen here. We will also find a squamous cell carcinoma in situ, like here, and also a fully developed squamous cell carcinoma. Emilios, you seem troubled. Say.
Yeah, I was surprised by how naturally you said we found an actinic keratosis, we found an squamous cell carcinoma in situ, and my question is, how do you tell them apart? I mean, what do you mean when you say AK? What do you mean when you say squamous cell carcinoma in situ?
So, is this an AK?
Yeah, should be.
Is this a bounce?
Should be an AK again.
Really? You don't see the vessels?
Not really.
Yeah. This is a bowenoid actinic keratosis, which is
Uh-huh.
more close to carcinoma in situ. That's why there is
Neovascularization.
yeah,
Mm.
one line.
Maybe it's not apparent, but there are clear glomerular vessels here.
Yeah, probably it's the problem with the zoom that you know.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. But it's like clear-cut vessels. And here, do you have any doubt that this is a squamous cell carcinoma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not
Sure.
convinced.
I mean, there is a lot of hyperkeratosis, so we don't know. Yeah.
A question is, are all AKs the same? No. Clinically, there is differentiation. The clinical differentiation are the Olsen grades. Olsen grade 1, early actinic keratosis, single or few, differently sized, less visible than palpable, red rough spots on very flat, non-edged plaques, which reach on the red's color and are easier to feel than to see, like the one seen here. Then we have Olsen grade 2, which describes a more advanced actinic keratosis, clearly visible and palpable, flat, and irregularly raised, as the one seen here. And then we have Olsen grade 3, that have been there for a longer period of time and firmly anchored on the lower surface. But this is a clinical differentiation. If we're going to the histopathological side, we have the KIN grading for actinic keratosis. KIN1 is intraepidermal dysplasia involving the lower one-third of the epidermis, as we see here, the atypical keratinocytes in the lower one-third. We have KIN2 involving the lower two-thirds of the epidermis, and then intraepidermal dysplasia involving the entirety of the epidermis, KIN3, which in essence is almost indistinguishable from a squamous cell carcinoma in situ. The only difference are the mitosis, the number of mitoses. What we see is what we get. So the clinical corresponds to the histopathological. Unfortunately not. This is a really nice study displaying that, in essence, actinic keratosis and the correlation between clinical and histopathological classification systems is extremely variable. There is no correspondence between the Olsen grading and the KIN grading. What do we have to help us with that? We have the breeds. We have, in essence, dermoscopy. What do we see? Here, strawberry. And the strawberry pattern has been extremely helpful into identifying actinic keratosis. This is a really nice paper by Iris in 2011 that actually moved into the dermoscopic grading of actinic keratosis from the red pseudo network and fine scales into the first grade. Then the second grade had background erythema and white hair follicles in a strawberry, forming a strawberry pattern, and then the structureless white yellow keratotic areas of the grade 3 actinic keratosis dermoscopically again. So this one, what would you say, what grade is this one?
1.
1, agreed. This one?
1, 2.
1, 2, excellent.
2.
2, 2, 3.
2, 3.
2, 3. Excellent. And extremely helpful are the rosettes, as we know, that is abnormal keratinization because of these dyskeratotic cells. This one?
3.
3 plus.
3 plus. Exactly. It's 3 plus. Because, as we will see moving forward, it is an actinic keratosis. So here is 1. Here is 3. But we also have this ulceration, which is a very good indicator of the evolution of an actinic keratosis into squamous cell carcinoma. Here, 1, 3.
Yeah.
And once we live in, I'm talking about Emilios, Nisa, Zeppi, and myself, since we live in sun-bathed areas, people are a bit more tan. So, although this grading is extremely useful for more northern populations, what if there is pigment? Here we see an elderly gentleman with a very classic actinic keratosis or even something more. What is indicative for actinic keratosis in more darker skin tones? We see this superficial network of scale, which is better apparent using the non-polarized dermoscopy, rosettes, of course, and evident hair follicles. Here again, seen both in polarized and non-polarized mode, we see this superficial fine scaling and the evident hair follicles. Again, we see in polarized and non-polarized mode how well the superficial network is highlighted in non-polarized mode, superficial scaling, and the white and white follicle plugging. Follicles, not plugging. This is one of my best pictures of pigmented actinic keratosis. This literally the highlight of superficial pigment network, superficial scaling, and these beautiful rosettes highlighting the nature of a K, and the contrast to a non-pigmented one, where of course the scaling should be there, but it's not as evident in more pigmented ones. An interesting thing that we always need to keep in mind is that
I love the Greek.
yeah. AK always respects the hair follicle. So in this case, which one is the AK?
Left.
Left.
Excellent. Actinic keratosis lentigo maligna. Here?
Right.
Excellent. But as we discussed, the progression model doesn't move from actinic keratosis grade 1, then to grade 2, then to grade 3, then to squamous cell carcinoma in situ, and then to invasive squamous cell carcinoma. The progression model can be completely random. We can have a mere sun-damaged skin that can progress to an invasive squamous cell carcinoma, or having several AKs moving into an invasive squamous cell carcinoma. Here,
Bowens.
Beautiful. We can see these beautiful glomerular vessels and the scaling edging us towards the diagnosis. But, of course, AKs and Bowens disease always need to be treated with respect. These are two similar, more or less, clinical cases. This one?
Bowenoid AK.
Bowenoid AK. And this one?
Well,
that's a strange thing.
It's an invasive melanoma, 0.7.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And histopathologically, accordingly. The interesting thing, of course, is pigmented Bowens disease, where we can see these nice dots in a line. And as I have described it, although I have never published that, maybe I should, the keratotic starburst pattern, that you see these radial lines, but it is a starburst pattern in essence that you can see in pigmented Bowens disease. And now my question to you, my friends, is can pigmented Bowens turn into squamous cell carcinoma?
Who knows? Who knows?
Instinctively?
No.
My gut feeling.
No is a hard word. Yeah, not high chances, I would say.
That is also my gut feeling, that pigmented Bowens disease extremely rarely can move into a pigmented squamous cell carcinoma. And here we see these radial lines in the periphery and these pigmented dots also in a line highlighting the pigmented Bowens disease. And this is the progression, if we can say that, from an actinic keratosis with red pseudo network to then a red starburst pattern to glomerular vessels plus erosions, and then subsequently moving forward into more dangerous situations into squamous cell carcinoma, minimally invasive, well differentiated squamous cell carcinoma, and then into an invasive squamous cell carcinoma. This is a beautiful paper by Hrisa showing that the most important factors for identifying the evolution of actinic keratosis into an early invasive squamous cell carcinoma were polymorphous vessels, dotted glomerular vessels, hairpin vessels, white halos surrounding vessels, and ulceration, along with white structural areas, of course. A total of 50 early squamous cell carcinomas and 45 AKs were included, and the main positive dermoscopic predictor of early SCC were dotted glomerular vessels, linear hairpin vessels, and white structural areas.
May I tell you something about this paper? Because I thought about it when you were speaking about pigmented AK before. So imagine that in this paper, we try to identify all early squamous cell carcinomas developing on the background of AK, and none of the cases, not even one, was
Pigmented.
yes, was developing on pigmented AK. There were all non-pigmented AKs on which actinic squamous cell carcinoma developed. I don't know if this is just a bias of our population. Maybe in darker skin types it could be different, but it's not that we don't have pigmented AKs. We do have pigmented AKs.
But this is the case. The vast majority of our AKs are pigmented, or more than half.
But
But
I think it's a bias because your patients are generally light fair skin type. So I have a lot of patients who has skin of color and developing on pigmented AK.
Developing squamous cells on pigmented
Yeah,
AK.
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
probably it's a bias then.
Or probably it's a bias. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here is an example of what we discussed. This is, well, actually, this is not an AK. This is not an SC developing on an AK. It's a clear-cut squamous cell carcinoma with these whitish halos around the follicle. But this is a better example, having all features, actinic keratosis-like features, and the linear vessels, the glomerular vessels, and these white hyperkeratotic plugs. So clearly a squamous cell carcinoma developing on an actinic keratosis. And this is another really nice example highlighting the actinic keratosis in the periphery and this ulcerative part here with a minimally invasive squamous cell carcinoma. But I think that's 8.5, and I'm going to finish here because then we're going to move in the realm of squamous cell carcinoma, and I think this would be a separate chapter.
What I like very much is this, Costantino, is this concept of ulceration, because very often we don't care too much about it. We are much more attracted by the classical features of actinic keratosis. But if we see a little bit of ulceration, this is a sign we have to consider more in our judgment. You know why? I mean, with actinic keratosis, actinic keratosis are not boring, by the way, but it's a frustrating clinical scenario in my view, because we think really that treating actinic keratosis actually we're going to prevent squamous cell carcinoma, but I'm still not completely convinced. I'm very sorry about it.
No,
I'm not pretty convinced. You know why? Because the problem, as you said, is that the stepwise progression.
it's not linear.
Not
It's not
linear.
Yes,
You can have a squamous cell carcinoma developing from a
exactly.
subclinical sun damaged area. You know what I mean? So this is a little bit the problem. So when we see this fully sun damaged scalps,
Yeah.
even if we treat the actinic keratosis, I'm not sure we are decreasing the risk for a squamous cell carcinoma. I'm not completely sure.
I couldn't agree more, Zepi. And I think the most frustrating part with it is that the mutations are there. We do our field treatments, we do in mode, we do 5FU, we do cryotherapy, we try to limit the burden of disease. But 1 year after, the patient will come and they will more or less be still the same. And I don't know if we offer an actual benefit to the patient by submitting them to all this. Come on, it's a very painful and very tiring treatment. Like doing 5FU twice a week, twice a day for 1 month, and being all red and itchy and exhausted to offer, I'm not sure what benefit.
Exactly.
Yeah, if we accept that AKs are SCC in situ, Simone says, yeah, of course. So what's the real difference between AK and Bowen? Good point.
Yeah,
There is no answer in my view to this.
There is no difference except from mitosis, and still.
But there is clearly a clinical difference between AK and Bowen because AKs have the tendency to develop in a sun-damaged field as multiple lesions, while Bowen, at least the classic Bowen, that's not the case. The classic Bowen is a single solitary lesion
On the leg.
usually not on the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the trunk.
And not on sun-damaged field. I mean, so probably there is something different there, maybe also in the pathogenesis.
Gut feeling. What is Bowen's connected to?
Viral.
HPV. Agreed.
HPV.
HPV.
Arsenic. Arsenic.
Arsenic.
Yeah.
Yeah, from time to in
Yeah,
rare
could be.
cases, yeah.
Can Bowen's disease develop into an invasive?
But that's my problem. No, you know that in our books, it was written, I think it's still written, that squamous cell carcinoma developing on Bowen's disease is much more aggressive as compared to squamous cell carcinoma developing on AKs. That's the theoretical part I remember from residency. But I can hardly recall one squamous cell carcinoma developing on Bowen's disease.
Yeah.
Hardly. Yeah.
It's very common to find squamous cell carcinoma in situ along with an invasive component, but I'm not sure which one came first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How can you tell which patients with SCC had actinic keratosis previously, given that so many AKs are underdiagnosed? Yeah, of course, that's the point that Konstantinos made at the beginning. You cannot. How do you treat actinic keratosis that are located very close to the eyelid margin? In the same way, I would say.
Same way.
I mean, cryotherapy and prepare your patient that he will be swollen for 5 days.
Sebi, show us something or not? No. I seem to remember Shin says a study saying that 5FU field treatment reduces the chance of SCC for at least 2 years afterwards. Yeah, you're right. I also wanted to comment this when JP said so. It's true that there are a few studies that at least compared the risk of subsequent BCC after several field treatments, and they found differences among the treatments. And based on these differences, 5FU was supposed to be better, so associated with a lower risk of SCC as compared to the other field treatments, which means that possibly to some extent we do reduce the risk, but the point is how much do we reduce it and if this is enough or not. But this, I think that this depends on the tumor burden. Sometimes it's too much. I mean, when the field cancerization is extreme, then probably our treatments are not enough. PDT could be a good choice, of course. Very good.
Yes, very good.
Very good. Low redness, nice outcome, of course. Also, okay, Sebi, show us.
Yeah.
Your patient has a lesion you would like to examine closer, but you do not want to touch it? The working ring distance enables the user to examine and manage a lesion under magnification without contact. The distance to the lesion always remains constant. Instruments can be inserted through the openings in the side. So, for example, foreign bodies can be removed. also allows pressure-free examination of raised skin lesions and superficial vessels. Just use it instead of the regular contact plate.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
A couple more questions.
Yeah. Chiara says, I think it's different from a psychological point of view for the patient to tell him here that you have a carcinoma or you have a precancerous lesion. Of course, there is a difference, but this has two different and opposite reads. Because on the one side, if you tell them you have a cancer, it's much more a psychological burden. On the other side, if you tell them that they have a cancer, it's more likely that they will be willing to follow the treatment. While if you tell them that you have nothing, then probably they are less prone to follow your advice. So it's
It's a two-way street. You're absolutely right.
Difficult balance, yeah. Any evidence based on studies? By the way, I don't know the answer to this question.
I have no idea.
On Gardasil, which is the vaccine for HPV, decreasing the risk of field cancerization and squamous cell carcinoma in later years.
But it's a wonderful question.
It's a wonderful question.
Actually, from a logical point of view, there should not be too much contact between the two things, because on one side there is the HPV related squamous cell carcinoma, on the other side is the sun related squamous cell carcinoma. So probably there is not much in common.
Treatments have to be maintained, and niacinamide nicotinamide 500 milligram diminishes recurrence by 30%. That's also a good point. There are recently
there was a really nice study now in 2026 in JAMA Derm regarding the effects of niacinamide. It's 500 milligrams twice per day, but still all the results are contradictory. Even this study had several blanks. In essence, it had variant data points. So some people took niacinamide for 1 week. Some people took it consecutively for 6 months. I'm not still extremely convinced by the data, but we can suggest to our patients.
But I'm much more convinced about acitretin.
Oh, absolutely.
Much more convinced. Much more.
Yeah.
For the heavy patients, it's a common thing that I prescribe 25 milligrams of acitretin.
25.
25, yeah.
And maintenance therapy with Epidemiology once a week is also very effective.
I didn't know
lifelong. Yeah, it's my practice.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's great. Really, you can try it.
Yeah, very interesting.
Especially for the bald male.
Once a week.
Once a week, maintenance therapy, lifelong.
Very nice.
By the way, have you seen how happy after they get over the frustration of the redness and the itchiness and everything, how happy patients are, how shiny their skin looks?
Yeah.
And this is more or less with all treatments. That's the case for imiquimod, that's the case for 5FU, that's the case definitely for photodynamic therapy, even more maybe. So yeah, it's true. What about acitretin we just mentioned? Of course, we have to say that data are stronger for nicotinamide, but I mean, data from studies, But acitretin also has probably a hemopreventive action somehow.
But physiologically, it makes way more sense for acitretin to work compared to niacinamide. So, like, if you think in the biology, what acitretin does is it causes a constant regeneration of the keratinocytes. So, I think it makes more sense. And I also give it to my heavy patients.
Yeah, we also do. What about hemoprevention nicotinamide? We discussed about it. There is preliminary study on Gardasil effect in containing AK. Okay, but Elisa, if you know the result, tell us. What is your advice in terms of multiple hyperkeratotic AKs? Do you biopsy before field Treatment, yeah, that's a good point. We have to clarify. Of course, I mean, in any case that there is a diagnostic doubt for invasive SCC, definitely biopsy is needed. If not, if we are sure that they are hyperkeratotic AKs, they have to be treated with a physical treatment first, and then apply the field treatment. Anyhow, all the field treatments are not indicated for hyperkeratotic AKs. They are indicated for grade 1 and 2. So
The
yeah.
way I usually approach it, these kind of patients, is I give a keratolytic cream to be applied for 20 days. Then with closure, how do you call it? With close,
Yeah,
cellophane.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let me tell you that this is because you're still young. With time, you will just use your nails more instead of.
Or, I mean, there is also another strategy. Emilio's strategy is to give steroids first, and then.
Yeah, but for another reason. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but I strongly believe in it because often there is an inflammatory reaction which complicates the
That is
No,
very
but it
true.
makes sense. Makes sense.
But
Yeah.
let me just finish this.
There are some questions in the chat asking
Yeah.
about FUDX treatment. I first treat the patients, especially for AK, once a day for 4 weeks, and then maintenance therapy once a week, lifelong, with FUDX.
So, and let me just finish with my strategy. Something keratolytic, then a field treatment, most likely 5FU. They will become like hell. They will come back 2 months after, and whatever is left, I treat with cryotherapy or surgery if there is an squamous cell carcinoma or
Lisa,
whatever.
I will start with this FUDX once a week for sure. Next Monday, tomorrow, I will start.
But JP, don't forget to treat first with daily treatment for 4
Of
weeks,
course.
and then maintenance
Yeah,
therapy.
yeah. Sure.
Your thoughts on PDL laser? PDL laser. What's PDL? I don't know what's PDL laser.
Guys,
So maybe the.
look at this one.
Oh, wow. It's a big one, right?
Giant. This is a bones and invasive squamous cell carcinoma in the center.
You see, sooner or later, it
Sooner or
means,
later
I
it's
mean,
gonna
this
happen.
lesion started more or less 20 years ago. So sooner or later, every Bowen's disease will develop a squamous cell carcinoma.
This was the answer.
It's like lentigo maligna, right?
It's like lentigo maligna, exactly.
Yeah.
There is an article published in 2024 suggesting that the terminal metabolite of niacin promotes vascular inflammation and contributes to cardiovascular disease risk. I'm not aware of this. Michael, if you can share the paper, that would be nice. Maintenance therapy with FUDX once per week. Yeah, that's what Nisa said. Do you ever give acitresin if there are already many squamous cell carcinomas? Because I think the effect diminishes if not started early.
Well, but even more.
Even more.
Even more patients with multiple invasive squamous cell carcinomas, they benefit from acitretin.
Yeah, and if there is some evidence supporting something about acitresin, it's precisely about those that have had already 2 squamous cell carcinomas in the past. These are the ones that theoretically benefit more from acitresin. 25 milligram per day. I'm not so sure about the dosage, if it's necessary to be 25. I don't know, JP. Also,
I
10.
I remember pretty well a paper some time ago saying that the best compromise is 25. Yeah.
I would be careful with niacin. That's Michael, send us the paper if you can, because this is really contradicting what we thought. We thought that at least nicotinamide is a drug free of any complications, any side effects. So if there is some evidence supporting the opposite, it's important to know. How is actinic cheilitis treated? That's also a good question. Would you like guys to
Yes,
answer?
actinic cheilitis is a much heavier disease, in my view. We have to keep it, we have to treat it immediately. In my view, the best treatment is imiquimod.
I have a great case, guys. I
Yeah.
should find it and show it to you. A person with severe actinic cheilitis and at some point a minimally invasive squamous cell carcinoma. You can tell. I scheduled him for surgery. He's scheduled 1 month afterwards. He comes back, and I only give him like fusidine cream to apply. He comes back, he has nothing. Like there's nothing to operate on.
Yeah.
Then he leaves. 2 months afterwards, he comes again with the squamous cell carcinoma.
Yeah.
And it's like this very difficult balance. I have been giving him ever since imiquimod plus cryotherapy, maintaining a balance, but it's a very difficult balance with actinic cheilitis.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about daylight therapy in reducing incidence of squamous cell? You mean daylight PDT, obviously, Francesca. We cannot say anything about reducing the incidence of SCC, but we can say that it is effective for actinic keratosis treatment. Maybe not as much as the classic PDT, but quite effective. So it's definitely one of the options.
So funny that we say that actinic keratosis is boring, and we have more questions than
Yeah,
any other episode.
I think this is not boring at all. But let me mention maybe the most important article we have out there concerning the treatment of actinic keratosis, which is the New England Journal paper comparing 5-FU versus imiquimod versus PDT versus
Ingenol.
Ingenol, and demonstrating that 5-FU is the best treatment in terms of number of squamous cell carcinomas developing after a certain time of follow-up. But what is crazy of this paper in this paper is that they didn't compare with no treatment, because if they had compared with no treatment, we would know today how many patients will benefit from a treatment if they do the treatment. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. We still miss the
A critical
information,
point. Yes.
the critical point. If we do nothing, how many squamous cell carcinoma will develop if we don't do nothing?
Yeah, because the primary endpoint there was not the
Yeah.
development of squamous cell carcinomas. The primary endpoint was the efficacy for
Yeah.
Field cancerization. And actually,
yeah.
the results were what Zepi said was the sub result, was the secondary result. But the first result was the redevelopment of actinic keratosis on the treated spots. And what was beautiful about this paper is, do you know how they did it?
No.
They had like plastic sheets and they applied it on the face of the patient and they marked where its actinic keratosis was. And every time they came back, they applied the sheet and they saw if there was actinic keratosis. Like very old school, but so effective. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
No imaging whatsoever.
Yeah. Incredible.
There is a question about tirbanibulin. We don't have it in Greece, so I have nothing to say, Jeppy.
We use it for grade 1, maybe 2 actinic keratosis, small fields, and it's a good option for not for heavy cases, but for moderate cases. It's nice. Yeah.
PDL is pulse dye laser. Do we have anything to say about pulse dye laser for AKs? Me not.
No.
No. Me neither.
Okay.
There is a vascular component, but I don't see how targeting the chromophores can affect the mutations. So
Michael sent the paper about niacin metabolite that increase the risk of cardiovascular disease, and this is published on Nature Medicine, 2024.
I think in that paper it was dosage dependent, and they said that 1000 milligram has this risk. If you prescribe 500 milligram, it's okay.
Yeah,
No,
but usually
the-
we propose 500 twice per day, which
yes,
is
but
Yeah.
the
Normally, the
total is
effective
1000.
dosage is twice as, yeah, but
So
if it is
guys,
500 milligram, there's no risk.
Okay, only one last question because I
last
love
question
this.
because it's 7:56.
Yes. Where does keratoacanthoma fall in this classification?
Well,
This is
I'm a
another
fan.
topic.
I'm a fan of keratoacanthoma. Keratoacanthoma is the good guy, but we could not make him apart from squamous cell carcinoma. So full stop. We have to treat him as a squamous cell carcinoma. Punto.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for KA, if you're sure it is, save and burn is more than
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
yes, but that's what I also do. But if you do this once every 20, you will have a bad surprise.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
I remember
Wonderful
your
guys.
case,
Wonderful
Emilios.
guys.
You had a great case.
Guys.
No, we don't stop, Jeppy. We will stay here until 1 minute.
Until forever.
8Ks.
Sebby, go ahead. Sebby, go ahead.
Go.
Sebby, go
Come
ahead.
on, come on.
Sebby, go ahead.
Sebby,
Go
do you
ahead
have a
with the
flight
next
tonight?
video.
There is Daria.
No video?
Yeah.
No more video?
No, there is Daria. And
Yes,
after
no more video.
Penelope, and after video.
Ah, okay. Video
Okay.
afterwards.
We have
Okay.
a long way to go.
Yeah,
Daria,
okay.
go.
Okay.
Come
Let's
on,
go
come
with
on, Daria,
Daria.
Daria.
Let's go with
Jeppy, do you have a
Daria.
flight?
Let's go with Daria. I love this presentation from Daria. Can you see it?
Yes.
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 Okay, so we have two troubles with flat brown lesions on the face. Problem one, all brown flat lesions on the face look the same. Yes. And the problem number two is that very often or always there are collisions.
Collisions.
I
Let's say
couldn't agree
often.
more. I couldn't
I
agree
would
more
say
with that.
often. So all brown flat lesions on the face look the same. Hyperplasia of the epithelium of follicles and sweet glands forms a dermatoscopic picture of an AK, two troubles with flat brown lesions on the face, and this is the very important clinical clue, the RASP symptom. Okay, so by definition, an AK should be rough on surface, and this is important. Secondly, the thickened epidermis of the skin appendage forms rosettes in polarized light, as you can see here. Rosettes, and in non-polarized light, the thickened epidermis of the skin appendage forms gray circles. Large,
Wide and
large
white
follicles,
follicular openings.
large white follicles. Yeah, and look at the beautiful video, alternating polarized and non-polarized light, the Dermoscope and UV. Look at the spirocheta. Yeah, you see the spirocheta sign in actinic keratosis. Yeah. Okay, here you can see an example of collision of a K and solar lentigo. You see the solar lentigo on top and the actinic keratosis on at the bottom. And here the video. And this is a very nice collision between the two lesions. This is the UV light mode image, and this is the black and white.
Nice.
Which, well, in order to look at the border of the lesion, this is very nice. Yeah. Okay, and this is a very beautiful heart from Daria.
Thank you, Daria.
Thank you, Daria. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay,
Wonderful.
Penelope time. There we go. First case, scalp, 44-year-old, 2 centimeter diameter patch of symptomatic cicatricial alopecia for 3 months, located on vertex, very papillomatous, very bleeding.
This must be an adnexal tumor.
Adnexal, of course.
Syringocystodenoma.
Adnexal tumor.
Syringocystodenoma.
Yeah.
Papilliferum.
Exactly. Syringocystodenoma.
Yeah.
Oh, brava, Lisa.
Nevus.
Brava.
Exophytic papillary structures, ulceration, wide polarizing structures, and tiny vessels. Very good. Then scalp again, asymptomatic solitary nodule present for 1 year, no prior medical history. That's dermoscopy. You see the vessels, polarized light and non-polarized light, where with some pressure the vessels disappear. BCC-like, but not BCC. Adnexal,
Sebaceoma.
but on the,
Sebaceoma.
but the location of the scalp here is a good clue. An adnexal with a tendency to develop on the scalp, looking a lot like BCC, cylindroma.
Cylindroma, yeah.
Okay, very good. Then homogeneous white pink area, white shiny polygonal structures, and of course arborizing vessels, mainly at the periphery. Cylindroma may be added to the list of adnexals mimicking BCC, of course. Then raised lesion, very small on the lower back, very unspecific dermatoscopic pattern, not much. A little bit of white in the center, some small vessels peripherally. Yeah,
Melanoma.
Dermatofibroma.
Melanoma.
So you have extremely opposite, feelings. Melanoma and dermatofibroma.
Yeah.
Extremely opposite. So fine, delicate peripheral pigment network, white scar-like patch, linear
Going to
irregular
dermatofibroma.
vessels. No, desmoplastic sclerotic nevus.
Okay.
The difficult thing here that it was a non-pigmented nevus, therefore we could not see the classic nevus patterns, but that might happen, of course.
I got the melanocytic. Do I win?
You got the melanocytic, means I got the benign.
You got it.
So it's 50-50. Again, this one is clinically a little bit more suspicious, I would say, but the age is good. So 27. Okay, middle of the back. Okay, here we do see a nevus pattern. We can see the nevus. It's first of all, the lower part is clearly a dermal nevus. The upper part, again, but a different pattern with heavily pigmented globules, which is a little bit strange. So this makes the lesion somehow worrisome.
Combined nevus.
Yeah. So again, here, exactly regular pattern of globules, blue-white veil, okay. The vessels of the nevus are present, of course, in the lower part. Milia exists also that are present in dermal nevi, and terminal here. Overall, another sclerotic nevus, or traumatized maybe. I mean, in the
Traumatized dermal nevus, I think.
Traumatized dermal nevus.
Yeah.
Fine. And finally, the last one is a beautiful example, very beautiful example of CCA, especially in the lower part. You can see the perfect rings of pearls, typical of clear cell acanthoma. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Penelope, for the wonderful case.
Thank you, Pascal. Great cases, as always.
There are still questions that we didn't take, but it's okay. It's okay. Sebi.
So let's agree.
Light as a serum, strong as an SPF 50+. Aven Sun Care Innovation Ultra Serum. An ultra light, undetectable texture. The most advanced sun care technology, enhanced with niacinamide and hyaluronic acid for an instant plumping effect. Ultra Serum by Laboratoire Dermatologique Aven.
Wonderful.
By the way, enhanced with niacinamide.
So, Sebi, please put a question forth. Is AK boring?
No.
It
No,
appears that we didn't get enough of an AK. I
No,
mean, there are
exactly.
still so many pending
We
things.
need more.
But there's also a nice question about keratoacanthoma management. Maybe SCC management is a topic that we can discuss in another episode, including all these gray zones like keratoacanthoma, early SCC, recurrent SCC, positive margins, and all this stuff. Is AK boring? Yes, no, maybe.
But Sebi is so biased. Yes,
Yeah,
with
there is
capitals.
We don't like yes.
What result are we going to have?
No,
No.
it's not boring. It's not boring. It's not boring.
It's not boring.
Wonderful.
Okay. Very good. Should we go to the Kahoot? I think so.
Yes.
I think
But
so.
only let me take just one question as you prepare the Kahoot. If the AK is shaved off, does it terminate the risk of SCC on that spot? Excellent question. The answer is we do not know, but the mutation of the UV sun damage is there. So even if you shave off the AK, the surrounding skin still has subclinical or clinical AK mutations. So most likely not, but we don't have the answer.
Konstantinos, during World Congress of Dermatology in Singapore, there was a guy from Australia, and he was a keynote speaker, and he told that they showed in a study DNA damage is reversible, not irreversible. And if the patients use sunscreens very strictly, the risk of developing SCC really very decreased. That was really very surprising for me. And he showed their study, and he was from Australia. That was interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds
So
extremely interesting.
it means so it's like smoking. So if you quit smoking, you recover.
Or you want to believe so?
Debbie, are you thinking of quitting smoking?
Huh? Sorry?
Are you thinking of quitting smoking?
I quit already a few years ago.
You don't consider this smoking, yeah.
Start smoking.
But guys, do you see my screen? Because I don't see any player connected.
No, we see
no.
we see only
We don't.
You don't? Okay. Okay, now you do?
Okay, now. Let's go.
Do you hear also the sound, the music?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
We can.
Azoma.
Eloise is saying you need to quit smoking. I quit it. Yeah.
This is not smoking. Yeah.
It's just
That's what Jeppe responds every time that somebody in a restaurant is trying to tell him that he should not smoke. He says that I'm not smoking.
exactly. From time to time, I get into heavy discussions.
Yeah. Okay, pasta. Let's go.
Let's go.
Boom. Episode 8. Okay. Just to remain in line with our discussion, this is the first case, left and right. And the question is, one is AK grade 3, one is SCC.
Nice.
SCC on the left, SCC on the right.
Feasible.
Yes.
Okay.
Wonderful.
You see, I became again a nice guy.
Or I explained everything great.
Or you
Yes.
explained everything so perfect.
Both.
Ioanna
Stop
says
smoking.
musty lead the course. Second case, that's the clinical. That is dermoscopy.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
Beautiful.
Interesting.
Beautiful.
Interesting. But what's that? Finally, is this a BCC, clonal sepcare, melanoma, or pigmented bowens? It's
Not
a bit,
melanoma.
finally, it's a bit tricky, eh? Finally,
Yeah.
it's a bit
Yeah,
tricky.
Yeah,
but
it's,
it's nice.
a bit tricky.
It's not melanoma.
It's a BCC, guys.
BCC.
Trust the blue clods.
Yeah.
Trust the blue globules. Okay. Stop smoking.
With a cigarette in my
Grande,
hand.
grande.
Wow. I love.
I am with stop smoking.
Stop
So go
smoking
stop
is-
smoking.
Stop
Go.
smoking.
Stop smoking is
Go.
leading, followed
Stop
by
smoking is the
Marcio.
winner anyhow.
Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be the winner.
Case number 3, that's the clinical. That is dermoscopy.
Mhm.
And the question is, what is this? Is this lendigo maligna, pigmented AK, solar lendigo, or BCC?
Really? I would have answered something different.
And the answer
FPIK.
is that this is a pigmented
Constantinos
actinic
sign.
keratosis. Pigmented actinic
Got it.
keratosis. And of course, this just reminds us that the gray dots, which are theoretically described as a lendigo maligna pattern, in fact, they are also common in pigmented actinic keratosis. That's something you should
But-
know.
Emilios, can I say just one thing?
Sure.
This, to my eyes, is a lichen planus like keratosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Well, but look at the follicles.
I do. But LPLKs can derive from
AK.
solar lentigos, sepcase, or AKs. So
Okay.
this is an AK undergoing regression in essence.
Yeah.
That's why I did not include LPLK in the options, because it would be a semi-correct option.
Yeah.
Semi-correct answer. Very good. So what happens here is that Joe is in the first place, followed by Alex and
Oh,
Marcio. Which brings us to case number 4. 3 images, dermatoscopic ones. And the question is, how many BCC?
BCCs.
Nice.
0, 1, 2, or 3?
I have a vote.
And the correct answer is 3. 3.
3.
All of them were basal cell carcinomas. Not so easy. Eventually, 42 people found the correct answer. And now, Joe is still in the first place, followed by Mary and Efudix.
Foodies.
Which brings us to the next case, which is again the same photograph, but with a different question. The question is, which is aggressive histopathologic subtype? None, 1, 2, or 3?
Beautiful.
Number 1 for me.
And the correct answer is found by 63 people. It's number 1. It's micronodular BCC with the small blue-brown globules that are, as we said several times, suggestive of this aggressive BCC subtype. And let's see what happened. Third place for today goes to Mustafa.
Mustafa.
Second place goes to Efudix.
Epidemiology.
And the champion of the day is Mary.
Mary, finally Mary. Oh, wow. Hai capito.
Hai capisci?
Hai capito.
Mary, show
Bella.
up.
Very
Show
nice.
up.
Very nice.
And today it was a very challenging Kahoot, Emilios.
Come on,
Yeah.
come
No,
on.
come
It was
on.
okay. It was
Well, but
okay.
feasible,
It was
right?
okay.
Feasible.
Yeah. So, who is Mary? Mary.
Meryem Türkçe Karatas.
She's
Where
from
is-
Time
Turkey.
to stop smoking.
Ah, Mary. She's from Turkey, Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations, Mary. Very well done. Very well done. So finally, guys, AK was nice.
Bravo.
AK was nice. Eh?
AK is a nice topic, still very debatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or made nice by Konstantinos. He was
Yes.
so good to make this topic so interesting for
I
everybody.
think third place is also from Turkey, Mustafa.
What about
Meryem and Mustafa.
also the second? So you have the entire podium. So do we have Mary? Maybe, probably. If yes, Mary, show up to congratulate you guys.
Tuğçe. Tuğçe.
Hello.
Mary?
Mary. Here is Mary.
Hello, Mary.
Here we are.
Mary, how do you feel for being the winner?
I'm very happy.
Congratulations.
You should be.
Congratulations,
Mary.
Tuğçe. Bravo.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
From Istanbul, Turkey.
Oh, wonderful.
Istanbul.
Nice. Now, are you a resident? You look very young.
Yes, resident.
Resident.
Second year resident from Haydarpaşa Numune Dermatology.
Oh,
Second year resident and already a winner. So you can skip the next 3 years. You're ready. Ready to go.
Thank you so much.
New
Very-
generation is very smart and they are very quick, and congratulations, Tuğçe.
Teşekkür ederim.
Wonderful. We
Fantastic.
have a lot of people from Turkey, very passionate.
Yeah.
Very passionate Turkish dermatologists and residents. Very nice. Okay, guys. Do you know how much I love you?
No, tell us.
I have no space here in the room to tell you how much.
We love you more.
We love you more, Geppi.
Baci, ragazzi. See you next
Love
Sunday.
you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you next Sunday.
Baci.
Bye-bye.